Aquarius! Welcome back to the channel. Okay, it looks like the month opens, Aquarius, with you maybe feeling like you're needing to employ some endurance. So the reason I'm saying that is because I'm seeing 10 of clubs here with strength, and both of those cards are about enduring something, showing fortitude. It feels a little heavy. Feels like you're carrying a lot. Feels like you're having to be strong with this strength card showing up. So if that's how you're feeling, just hang in there. A lot of times 10 of clubs can show up when it's not our stuff, when we're carrying other people's stuff, or we've been carrying something for a long time. I think there's a quote by Muhammad Ali, or I forget, I'm not sure who it's by, but I thought it might be him, where it says, it's not the mountain that will get you, it's the pebble in your shoe. So 10 of clubs is about carrying a lot. And whenever this card shows up, I ask, what's not necessary? You know, what is it that you might be carrying that's not necessarily for you to be carrying? What can you put down? What is causing your back to break or for you to become tired or weary? Because it is showing that you have a lot of strength right now, but it's also showing like you might be needing to show a lot of strength and employ like a lot of your strength to deal with all these burdens that you're carrying. So I'm going to ask you, what is it that you can put down, Aquarius, that will lighten your load? You know, 10 is a completion number. So you've been you're coming to the end of a cycle of carrying something for a while. This could be old burdens. This could be stuff from childhood. This could be day-to-day stuff that you've been carrying, like, you know, running a household or holding a business together, or whatever it is that shows up in the 10 of clubs. It's like heavy stuff that you may not want to carry anymore. It's sort of like the end of the road for that. And strength means like you've had the strength, you've gotten through it, you've showed endurance, you've showed fortitude. Now it's a little time to move from this heavy energy to this softer energy. And by the way, through the strength and endurance and fortitude, she is able to open the jaws of this lion. So what it's also telling me is that through your collective experience, this is also the teacher card, by the way, that you are now capable of doing these wondrous feats, like opening the jaws of the lion through your collective experience. See this feather in this guy's cap? So it's sort of like having gone through all this stuff of carrying all this stuff, you now have this strength, and you're now able to pull off what looks like miracles through your compassion, through your understanding, through the wisdom of experience that strength has here. But let go of some of those old things that you're carrying, and sometimes that comes in the form of teaching. By sharing your experience with others, you can kind of offload that. I also see around this new moon, these are two 8 cards. Now, 8 of Cups and 8 of Wands. Around this new moon, you're going to be willing to let go of something very rapidly. So whatever it is that you're carrying and holding on to, around that new moon, we just started February off of the tail end or off of the heels of a new moon in Aquarius. That was around January 27th, 28th. So this new moon in Aquarius is kind of giving you the impetus to say, okay, what is it that I've been working on for a long time? What is it that I've invested my heart in, my emotional energy? That's 8 of Cups. What have I built that I'm kind of weary of and ready to walk away from? In some ways, that is a common theme to this 10 of Clubs card and 8 of Cups. As you can see, they've both worked on something for a long time, and they're both weary cards. The difference is that 8 of Cups actually shows this person walking away and moving on to the next journey. 8 of Clubs or 8 of Wands says it can happen very quickly. You know, it's sort of like things are almost lined up. They're 80 to 90% lined up. The pot is almost boiling. However, in the reverse position, that's also showing resistance. It's showing fear or doubt about moving on to the next thing. So what I'm getting for you, Aquarius, may be something that you're feeling weary of the old cycle. You have collected experience and strength and knowledge and capability, really, is what strength is about from all of this. This is your past. because remember, 10 is a cycle that completes. However, as far as stepping into the new cycle, you are actually ready for it as of last week. The end of January, you're ready and you're weary of the old cycle, but there may be fear or resistance or some sort of disallowment of stepping into the new cycle. I'm not sure how that's showing up. It shows that actually if you are ready for it, which at the new moon in Aquarius, you actually are ready for this, it could happen very quickly, but because these are in reverse, there's some sort of resistance. It's sort of saying like you're putting it into delay because your fearfulness. This is almost like a holding pattern, like saying I want to move on, but I'm afraid to. It's almost like a little bit of being stuck or dragging your heels is what I get with 8 of Wands in reverse, because 8 of Wands in upright means let's do it now. The last piece unlocks the puzzle. Things happen. So Aquarius, look into, is there something that you are fearful or resisting in as far as moving on to the next cycle? Because, by the way, 8 is also the number of prosperity, and it's the number of abundance, and it's the number of the manager and success with the group. So it's saying those things are available to you with this double 8 energy, but the fact that they're both in reverse says you may not be feeling like you're ready for that. You may be ready to move. It's sort of like, this is the image that I'm getting with these cards in the row. You've been swinging from this rope. You've taken this course. You know everything there is to know. You've completed the course. It's sort of like someone graduating from a course lesson or a class or something that they've taken, but yet they're hesitant to step out into the new world, or they've been swinging on this rope and they're hesitant to grab onto that next rope. So this is sort of you swinging back and forth on the current rope that you're on, tired of it. And it starts to swing to a standstill. You have to go to that new one to let go of this. So realize that if you continue to hold on to all this completed course, it's going to not only make you weary and make you have to employ extra strength, but it might slow you down. So my recommendation is to ask questions if you're feeling that way. Is like, what is it that I'm afraid of taking the next step into? What is it? Is there any fear or resistance or hesitation or delay that is preventing me from letting go of this old weary story to taking the next steps? Because look at what's coming up for you next. A little bit of partnership energy. And this is really sweet mid-month. You could see there's 2 children here exchanging heart, emotional energy. This is a balancing here. There's 2 towers with the dog and the wolf here. I'll talk more about that. And the moon is emotional energy. And then there's also 2 of coins here. So there's a lot of 2 energy right at the middle of the month, which is right around Valentine's Day. So that kind of makes sense. And it may have something to do with the fire sign. This could be Sagittarius, Leo, or Aries. So I'm going to talk about these cards. And 6 of Cups has to do with feeling sweet like a child. This is sentimentality. This is kindness. This is 2 kids who are giving cups to each other full of flowers. So it's got this very sentimental, loving energy. It can be like things we're remembering from the past. In the upright position, it means innocence. It means sweetness. It means kindness. It means the innocence of children. In the reverse position, it's saying you may have a hard time accessing that. You may have a hard time remembering what it felt like to be open-hearted and vulnerable like a child. So sometimes in the reverse position, it can mean cynicism or feeling like you don't trust other people or you don't want to be open to other people. Because in the upright position, it is openness. It's sharing. Sharing is caring. It's like, the innocence of these lilies, and when all things are new. In the reverse position, it could feel like, oh my gosh, it's this person again. This could be like a partner you've had for a while, and it's like you've forgotten how to feel like kids together, or it's like, oh, it's you again. Cynicism, believing nothing can change. So see if you can embrace the upright side of this, remember how you felt as a child when you were with your friend or when you were with a loved one, or, you know, all of us have probably had that experience of being a child and like sharing a toy with another child, or a sweet thing of like picking a flower and giving it to someone else. So that's Six of Cups energy. See if you can lift whatever is holding this down in resistance, because that's what's leading you to this Three of Swords energy, which is heartbreak, which is distress. Both of these are Six of Cups in reverse, and Three of Swords are like tight heart energy. So try to open up. If you can just like maybe do a mental visualization of like massaging your own heart, that can really help, Aquarius. This too, Moon, has to do with emotional energies. This has to do with allowing emotions that are deeply buried to come to the surface under the gentle light of the moon for evaluation. And the dog and the wolf represent the domesticated and the wild sides of ourselves. So sometimes I look at it as like left brain, right brain. But it's letting those emotions come up in a safe way. This is a lobster or crab, which represents either Scorpio or Cancer. And Moon has to do with testing to see what's real, what's illusion, what's fantasy. This is a Pisces ruled card. So it has to do with very Neptunian themes. What's real, what's not real, what's fantasy, what's true, what's not true, what is sustainable, and what is consistent versus what is changeable and what is just like here one day, gone tomorrow. The moon does not emit its own light. It's a false light reflected from the sun. So it appears to have light of its own, but it's not actually lit. It is a planet, not a star. So this does have the theme of like evaluating what's real, what's not real. And it also has to do with, because the moon is changeable, it changes every day and every night, that there's a theme of what's consistent, what is true over time. And that's where balancing things between the wild self and the domesticated self, trusting the emotions to come up in a balanced way, trusting that it's safe and okay for those to come up. You know, it's again balancing energies, just like Six of Cups, balancing between the young side of yourself, you know, the sentimentality and the vulnerability and the sweetness, trying to temper that against any cynicism or hardness that may be coming up. So those are things that have to do with Moon and Six of Cups. Both very emotional cards, Aquarius. And then you may be weighing that against Two of Coins in reverse. This is joint finances. This is, in the upright position, this is flexibility and fun, being adaptable, being able to change to changing circumstances. For some of you, I'm getting that you're weighing the emotions. You're almost like at a tug of war between the emotions of how you feel about that person versus life on earth with that person, like the financial ties with them. Like you actually either may want to leave, but you don't want to leave for financial reasons, especially if it's a fire sign, because this Two of Coins is in reverse here with this fire sign person. So again, Aquarius, Sag, Leo. Or you may just be tangling with something having to do with your feelings on one side and the tangible world on the other side. Maybe this person that you love is far away and you can't actually get to them or touch them. Maybe things are changing regarding them and you want to get back to how it used to be. There's a lot of possibilities, but this is childlike sweetness, emotion, sentimentality, things from the past. This could even be someone from the past. This is life here on earth. This is money changing hands. This is balancing one side of the money to the other side of the money. This is getting your bases covered, practicality. It also means like, you know, changing and adapting to anything that is changing in your environment. This ship is going up and down according to the sea. That's a very Two of Coins image. It adjusts accordingly. Same thing with Two of Coins is that if you can change and be flexible to your changing circumstances, there can actually be a great sense of fun and flexibility and adaptation in this card. It can kind of have a nice sense of humor if you can like sort of roll with it. But I'm getting the sense that there's some changes that need to be adapted to with this fire sign person. This could either be your romantic partner, or this could be someone in your environment. So this could be a father figure. This could be, again, a partner, a spouse. This could be a landlord. It could be a boss. Whoever is taking on this King of Clubs energy, which is eccentric, bold, cavalier. He does things in his own unique way. If you think about Mozart or Walt Disney, those are both King of Clubs archetypes. So there's something to do with difficulty in practical matters regarding this King of Clubs person. And this moon is sorting out your feelings about how you feel about it. You might feel this way some days, this way other days. I'm really getting a sense with all three of these cards that you're trying to balance energies between emotionality and practicality and changing circumstances. I mean, changeability has to do with Two of Coins and moon energy, and that's in the center of the month. So something is changing that you're having to adapt to right around Valentine's Day, more than likely having to do with a King of Clubs type person. And you may be having some hard times with that, Aquarius. This is Three of Swords energy. So this is third wheel energy. This is being of three minds. This is indecision. This can be disappointment, heartbreak, betrayal, feeling disappointed or betrayed, feeling like they didn't live up to who you thought they were. It's just sadness. So for some of you, it may be losing a King of Clubs person, or it could even just be sadness recognizing that they're not who you thought they were. They're not, or they're possibly not supporting you in something that has hurt you. But you do have this intuition about it and the survivorship about it. And for some of you, I'm getting that if there's a separation with a King of Clubs person, that it hurts, but you kind of knew all along that they may have not been the right person for you. This is like an inner knowing, which is High Priestess. It's trusting your intuition. It's seeing things as they really are. And I'm going to say with moon here, full, and with this crescent moon and strength, you kind of have to trust your intuition. You kind of have to trust your inner knowing, Aquarius. Your mind, you're an air sign, so you usually rely upon your mind, and you're usually very logical and can think things through. You're going to have to trust. You gain strength from your connection with moon energy, which is emotional energy, and tuning into receptivity, listening carefully, getting quiet so you can listen within. This is kind of like you already know what's going on. This is like you're trying to make a decision consciously regarding, especially if it's regarding this person. But if there's pain, you kind of know what it's about. You kind of knew it was coming. But guess what? Nine of Clubs says you'll survive it. This is the Survivor card. This is the Cool Hand Luke card, which it is kind of like you keep getting knocked down and you keep getting back up. So I always say associated with this card is Cool Hand Luke, who keeps getting knocked down and getting back up. And I always associate this with the Buddhist saying of fall down 7 times, stand up 8. So it means no matter how many times you get knocked down, you will always stand up. You will always survive. If there's heartbreak that you're experiencing towards the end of the month, Aquarius, you know you can get through it. It hurts. That's Three of Swords. But you know on this instinctual level, High Priestess has this inner knowing. And it's not a mental knowing. It's an emotional knowing. Through getting quiet and listening within. Both of these have to do with going deep. It's kind of interesting, actually. See this pool here? This is emotional energy. That's where this crab is coming up from. That's emotional energy. And so is High Priestess is connecting with the subconscious. Another image of the moon. So your dreams may have answers and information for whatever you're tangling with in the middle of the month. Really, a good exercise for you this month, Aquarius, could be to keep a dream journal and write down your questions right before you go to bed and ask for an answer and see what you get in the morning or in your dreams. You will survive this. That's Nine of Clubs says you will. You may have to do something different than you've done before, though. Hierophant at the end of the month. This is a very Hierophant in reverse is actually very Aquarian, because Hierophant in the upright position has to do with traditionalism, doing things according to society's norms and customs, spirituality. In the reverse position, it says do things differently, do things against the norm, do things against conventionality, unconventional, which is very Aquarian in theme. So this says embrace doing things a different way at the end of the month. Do things, you're released from all rules in some ways, is what this says at the end of the month. However, for some of you, this could mean a dissolution of a marriage, because especially from a King of Clubs person, because Hierophant also does represent marriage, traditional, this is sort of like the priest who marries two people in the church. And with Three of Swords here, and him in reverse, with this in reverse, it says it could even happen swiftly, and that's maybe what you're resisting against. That could be this Eight of Cups theme, and that could be what this Eight of Cups is about, is something that you've built over time. Put a lot of your heart TLC into this. So some of you are going to feel free at the end of the month. That's what Hierophant in reverse says. You may be released from conventionality, traditionalism, doing things in a traditional way. For some of you, it may be coupled with this Three of Swords, trying to make a decision regarding this King of Clubs person and deciding to dissolve the traditional marriage or union. But it also shows survivorship, and it kind of shows you've known all along. Now, for some of you, it may be that you just work things out, that you have a sadness, feeling betrayal or disappointment, but that you listen to your inner knowing and that you survive through this thing because you kind of have known this about this person all along. And for some of you who are single, it can be that this could be someone else. This could be not necessarily a partner, but this could be, working things out with a boss, with a landlord, with a father, with an older brother, with an uncle, whomever this might be. Anyone who displays King of Club archetypes. But you're going to get through it with them. There may just be some sadness and knowing that was coming, but you will survive it. And this could be like, being released from the group, because Hierophant also represents society and doing things, again, the tried and true way. This means you're letting go of that. So that's my reading for Aquarius. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to share those in the comments. Or if you liked the reading, feel free to give us a thumbs up or share it with another Aquarius who you think might enjoy the message. And as always, I just want to thank everyone for watching. Yours in the stars.